All right, so today we're going to focus on key features. Go ahead and copy your vocabulary, and then let's go ahead and look at these questions. So this one says, the graph of a function is shown on the grid. Which ordered pair best represents the location of the y-intercept? I know my most important word is y-intercept. And I know a y-intercept is written 0, y. And I know I'm going to look at my y line, and it touches -9. So I know it's 0y, so 0, -9, which matches answer choice D. Now let's take a look at the next one. The graph of a function is shown on the grid. Which ordered pair best represents the location of the x-intercept? I know my important word is x-intercept. And I write an x-intercept, x, 0. Now, I know I'm not looking at y, I'm only looking at the x, and I touch -5. So x, 0, -5, 0. So my answer is C. Okay. Now for this one, I don't care what the question is. I asked, what are the points we would use for this question? So for this question, I have this point, which is 0, 5. And then I have this point right here. My x is 3. My y is -4. So I have 0, 5, 3, -4. I also have some other options. So you could have put this point right here, this point right here, or this point. Any of these points would have worked. Okay? Oh, also this point right here. So any of those points. I chose those just because I like them. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. All right, let's go ahead and look at the learning goal. I am learning how to use Desmos. Oh, I am learning how to determine, I'm so sorry, key features of linear functions using Desmos or by looking at a graph. So I'm worried about key features today, meaning x-intercept, y-intercept, slope, rate of change, increasing, decreasing, all of that. So we have a x-intercept, and remember x-intercept is going to mean 0, 0, x, y, or x, 0, and then ground. The ground we walk on is the x-axis. Then y-intercept is going to be initial value, 0y, or starting value, 0y. Then I have slope, which also means m. I can also see the word rate of change, which will also mean m. And then our big one today is also passes through. So if I have a line and I say this point right here, this red line, this, let's say line passes through this point. That is what I mean by passes through. Passes through means it touches the point. Touches point. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some examples. These are not on your notes. These are just on my screen. So 0. 0 means x-intercept. So my x-intercept is on the x line right here. This would be my answer. Right here. Passes through -5, 2. -5, 2 is right here. This blue line does, in fact, pass through this point. It touches that point, so that's good. Given the Desmos, what is the slope? Slope is my m, so my m is -1. Right here. Does the point pass through -5, 2? My point, -5, 2, and my red line does not pass through this point. Does not. So that would be wrong. This wouldn't be correct. Okay. Y-intercept. My y-intercept is on the y-axis, which is the line that goes up and down. So my y-intercept would be 0, 9. All right, let's go ahead and try our notes. So these are your notes, so I'm going to get your notes out. The graph of a linear function k passes through the points -3, -10, and 6, 5. Which statement must be true? I'm looking for the true statement, so I have to check every answer. So I'm going to make a picture. Make picture in Desmos. So I'm going to put the points in Desmos, and now I'm going to read the first one. The slope, my m, of the graph is -5/3. If I look at my m, it's 5/3. M equals 5/3. These two numbers are not the same, so A cannot be true. My m is 5/3, but they said, oh, it's supposed to be -5/3. So A is not true. Now the next one says the graph of K passes through -3, 4. If I put the point -3, 4 in my Desmos, I get it right here. My blue line does not touch -3, 4. So B also is incorrect. Now it says the 0, remember x-intercept, is 3. If I look at my x-axis, my x-intercept is 3, 0. So C is correct. C is correct. Now let's keep going because maybe I got something wrong. So D says the x-intercept is -3. I already know that my x-intercept is 3. So x-intercept 3, 0. And this does not match. I'm looking for a +3. They told me it's -3. Now, my last one, E, y-intercept. If I look at my y line, it touches 0, -5. Y-intercept 0, -5. They gave me +5. That is not the same number, so E cannot be my answer. So my final answer would be C. So when you get a question like this, you kind of have to go through each answer and say, okay, is this good? Is this bad? Is this good? Is this bad? And use the Desmos to help you. Desmos will give you everything. You just have to be able to say, oh, am I looking for slope? Let me look at M. Am I looking for pass-through? Let me put the point in and then see if my line touches it. Am I looking for 0? Let me look at my x-axis. Am I looking for x-intercept? Let me look at my x-axis. You have to know where to look. That's all you need to know. Let's go ahead and skip all this so we can get through the video. So, on this question, it says, the graph models the linear relationship between the number of monthly payments made on a loan and the remaining balance in dollars left to pay on the loan. Which statement best describes the x-intercept of the graph? So, my important word is x-intercept. I'm going to write that down on the bottom. X-intercept. And every time I write the word x-intercept, I want to write x, 0. So my x-intercept right here, it touches 60. So I want to look for an answer that has 60 in it. So I know B cannot be my answer and D cannot be my answer because they don't have the number 60. Now, the other thing I want to look at is they gave me words on my x-axis. They gave me number of monthly payments. Now, if I'm looking at A and C, A says initial balance. Remember, I know initial means y-intercept. But even if I didn't know that, in the answer choice C, it says monthly payments. Monthly payments. These two words are exactly the same. Monthly payment, monthly payment. So if I'm matching it to something, my answer would have to be C. The other thing I want y'all to look at is, we got our answer. We're just going to look at something else. Different topic. A lot of y'all don't know how to put this in Desmos because it has 3 or 2 commas. What you need to look at is, if I draw this down, it's 10. So 10 is my x. Then if I draw over, I see all of my y's have commas. That means this whole thing is my y. So this one, my x is my 35. 11,250 is my y. So when you put it in Desmos, you'll put 10, and then on the right side, 22,500. Like 22,500, my bad. So your table would look something like this in Desmos. Just so you know. 10, 22,500, then 35, 11,250. That would be what you put in Desmos. You wouldn't make another column. You don't need it for this question, but just for like the future, if you ever need to, that's how you would determine what's your x and what's your y. All right, for the next one, it says, the graph of a linear function g passes the point -7, -4, and 7, 6, as shown. I have my graph. What are the slope and y-intercept of the graph? So I know that it's asking me about y-intercept, 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 and it's asking about slope, 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 slope. The best place to go is Desmos. I need to figure out the slope and I need to figure out the y-intercept. So I have the points x, y. I have -7, -4, and then 7, 6 right here. So I'm going to open up Desmos. Oh, that's class kick. Just kidding. All right, I'm going to open up Desmos and make a table like I have been doing. That is how you make a picture. -7, -4, 7, 6. And the other thing I kind of want y'all to do is, hold on, is right here under this like tool, you can press this and you can label your x and y axis. So we can type x here and y here, and it will label your graph for you. So now we have an x here and a y here to help us. So we're going to press the plus, we're going to press the 4 little dots, then the 3 little dots, and export. So I know my m is this big, long number, this decimal, but look at my answers. They're all fractions. So I'm going to type down here m, and I'm going to press this fraction button. And that gives me 5/7. So my m equals 5/7. So my slope, that's my important word, slope, m Desmos, is 5/7. So if I know that, I know A is good, B is good, C is not good, and D is not good. So then now I have to look at my y-intercept. That's also an important word. Y-intercept, 0, y. So if I'm looking at my y-intercept, and we can find this on Desmos to help us, our y line is this line right here. If I click this red line, if I click it, then these gray points pop up. If you hover over the one on the y line right here, the y line, y line, y line, y line, y line, y line, right here, that's your point. That's my y-intercept. My y-intercept, 0, 1. So I'm looking for an answer with the number 1 in it. I have -1 in A and +1 in B. That means my answer would be B. We don't want negative. We want a +1. Okay, so it is always easier to make a picture in Desmos and label your X and Y. I always like to label them on every question. If you use it on the STAR, I think, or even ACP, every question you do, you have to relabel them. So it's just good habit. Press the little toolbox, press X, press Y, and it'll label it for you. All right, let's try one more. It says two more actually. Which graph best represents y equals -4 parentheses x plus 3 parentheses -2? So here I'm going to delete everything. So we're going to press this little gear, delete, and I'm literally just going to type this. And my vocabulary is best represents. Okay, I'm looking for the graph that looks like the graph I'm about to create. So see how it cleared everything? I'm going to press the graph, the little tool, X, and then Y. I'm going to type y equals -4 parentheses x plus 3 parentheses -2. And I see that my line is going down. I'm going down, so mine is pointing down. So F is pointing up, H is pointing down, G is pointing up, J is pointing down. If I know I need a graph that points down, I can delete F and G. Now, I want to look at my x-intercept, -3.5. That is going to help me. X-intercept, -3.5, comma 0. If I look at H, I'm between -3 and -4, so that's about -3.50. But if I look at J, I'm between -2 and -3, so that's -2.50. Now, if you weren't good with that, I'm pretty sure you can click this setting and then this little button, create table, and it gives you a ton of different tables. So the first point, -2, 6. So we have -2, 6. Let me put in a different color, actually. If you didn't know how to do the decimals, -2, 6, this would be easier. -2, 6 is right here. H does not touch -2, 6, but wait. Oh my gosh, I wrote the point wrong. That's so embarrassing. -2, -6. negative 2, negative 6, negative 2, negative 6. So h does in fact touch negative 2, negative 6. My bad. But it does not touch on j. So j does not pass through. So it would have to be h. Okay? So again, just to show you how that was done. We put the equation in, and then we press the little gear button, and it will make a table for us. And I can pick any of these points to use to graph if I'm not good with decimals. But if you understand decimals, I would just plot the decimal one. All right, so let's clear everything, delete all. The last question says, a function is graphed on the coordinate grid. What is the y-intercept of this function? My important vocabulary is y-intercept. Y-intercept. Every time I write y-intercept, I should be writing 0, y. And then remember, I'm not going to look at my x's. I'm just going to look at my y's. But if I'm looking at my y's and I make this longer, I don't know where my y line touches my other line. So this, I can't see the number it touches. I have no idea what number it is. Maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe negative 13. I actually don't know. Maybe negative 17. It depends on how they draw it, but we don't know. So what we need to do is make a table to make a better picture so we can use Desmos. So we're going to get 2 good points. So I have this point right here, which is, oh, now I do need the x-axis. Negative 5, comma, 6 right here, 6. So that's 1 good point. Now I have another good point right here at negative 3, comma, negative 2. So now I'm going to throw those in Desmos to create my table. So plus table, negative 5, 6, then negative 3, negative 2. And I'm going to press the plus button, the 4 buttons there, this one, and export. Now I see on here I need to press the tool button. I need to press X right here and Y right here. See how I can't see the Y axis? So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, zoom out, and now I can see the Y up here, right here. And I want to click on the blue line and see how it shows these gray points. I'm looking, again, remember, we're looking for y-intercept. I'm looking for the y line. I'm going to follow it down, until I see the gray point. And see I was wrong. I said 0, negative 13, but the actual answer, if I didn't guess, and I actually did it with Desmos, was 0, negative 14. So my answer would be 0, negative 14. Sometimes if they don't let you write parentheses, you'll just write negative 14. Okay? But until we take a test where they don't let you, just put the y-intercept. And that should be it for today. Please make sure on every question you are putting the important word and what it means. That is what's going to help you today. I will let you know where to glue it because I think these pages are wrong, actually. Make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Goodbye.